Hey, welcome in for another great edition. And we are joined by a very unique real estate agent. I'm going to get into that because I find your stories are so unique. Brandon Curry, good friend for a long time, great real estate agent.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And how many years now in the business?
God, I feel like it's been like 2, 3, 4, 5, but it's been 9 years, and it's like it goes by quick.
Yeah, I was going to say a decade.
Yeah, they haven't fired me yet,
Yeah,
so I'm still hanging on.
Listen, nobody would fire you because you've got stories, and I just think that, boy, this is going to be a great show. People are going to love it, and I'm just going to get right into it because I think that sort of the unique way that you approach your clients, it's legendary around our office, in case you don't know, but you are just the type of guy that'll do anything for your clients. And I've got I know some of the stories, so I'm just going to start off because I know you've painted rooms, you've moved people's stuff out, you've cleaned their homes.
Sure.
Like you get very, very hands-on in a way that I think is extremely unique for real estate agents where you just do a lot of the work. Tell us where this comes from because to me, it's sort of your calling card is you'll just do whatever it takes. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I am crazy. I will do whatever it takes. And all the stuff I do for free for my clients, which is really kind of extra unique. So, a house is a house, a client is a client, and my kind of perspective is what can we do besides obviously marketing the crap out of it and being strategic and pricing and all this, but what can we do to get the house in the best shape that we can? So I come in, and recently I just had a house in Ferndale. We ended up painting the entire inside. There was no trim work done. By we, I mean me and my paintbrush. Got the saw out. We put trim, me and my saw, put trim all the way around the house. Finished out a lot of projects that were just kind of left to be desired, and then we listed it and sold it.
So, I mean, it's one thing for people to kind of talk about doing some of those things, but, you've done this time and time again with clients. And sometimes I've even thought to myself, man, I don't know anybody that goes above and beyond the way that you do. And I mean that as just a true compliment. Where does that come from? Like, I mean, I don't know
just
another.
My drive to succeed, my drive to help clients out through customer service, my drive to put a different spin on it as opposed to, hey, let's list your house and, I'll do some drone photos and this and that and it'll sell in 2 seconds. If it doesn't, it's your fault. It's kind of, we have this equation. What can we do to make it work the best that we can?
So tell me about some of the maybe unique experiences that you've had. You just talked about the painting and the sawing. I know that you've done a number of other things for clients, for all financial clients and for other clients. Like, tell us about some of the unique circumstances, some of the things that you've done over time that have just been extraordinary, as I would call it.
Kind of an amateur moving company. I've helped a lot of clients move. I've relocated deceased pets before for clients that have sold their house, and they did not want to leave. Doc was the name of the cat in particular, not want to leave Doc behind, and so Doc came with me on the roof rack of my car in his little casket, and we relocated it into the backyard of the new home.
Amazing stuff.
But you know what? It makes a difference.
Yeah. No, it's exactly
He
what it is.
didn't sit on my lap, but he definitely found his new home, and I can tell you that client was just extremely happy, and it took no work to do it.
So as a market expert, 10 years now, what are you seeing today? We kind of went through 2020, 2021 were maybe easy times, 2022, 23 into 24 have been a little tougher for a lot of people. What are you seeing right now in the market? What are your sort of analysis?
I think it's about adaptability. I think that every year changes. Everything changes. Even during COVID, stuff changed, and it was just kind of those that can adapt are the ones that succeed. And right now, things have definitely slowed down, but there's not a lot of inventory out there. So the stuff that's priced right does go quickly in multiple offer situations. But I think that savvy buyers can really understand that if it doesn't get its first bite on that first week on the market, then we really come in and get a great deal. And so it's just kind of adapting to the current climate. For example, I had a client in Plymouth, new house, new listing. It was a week old, week and a half actually. It was listed at $900,000. We came in $200,000 under, and we got our offer accepted.
Wow.
And it was contingent.
Really? It's amazing.
but it's just kind of the discouraged seller
Yeah.
and the overestimating of what the market will yield. So I think just really listening to the market and seeing what's out there.
So tell me, when you're making offers and you're in a multiple offer situation, well, actually, I'd like to know both sides. Like,
Okay.
if you're receiving multiple offers as a listing agent, what are you looking for to distinguish outside of price? I mean, obviously, if the prices are close, then
Sure.
you're looking for other factors. And then on the other side, when you're the buyer's agent, what are you doing to kind of make your offer stand out? I mean, to me, in a lot of cases over the last couple of years, that's where real estate agents really show a lot of their value is how do I like pick the right offer for your house and get my offer selected? What are your thoughts on like multiple offer situations?
So multiple offer situations, when I'm on the receiving side, on the listing
Yeah.
side, and we get multiple offers, I send them over to my client as soon as we get them, and I say, hey, don't read too far into this. We got one offer. I'll get you more. We'll use these as leverage, and we'll call for a multiple offer situation, and we'll be able to get more. And we almost always do.
Yeah.
And then at that time, as I get an offer, I send it over. And then when we have that deadline that I pull for the home with the seller's permission, we go down and we sit down at a table, old-fashioned style, and we go over every offer that we have with the pluses and minuses. I put everything in and I break it down with EMD, purchase price, what are they putting down, who's their lender is a giant piece of that puzzle. Because for me, I know that if it's a good lender like Hall Financial, we're going to get to the finish line and we're not going to have any hiccups.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody else like Rocket, then I know that we're going to have some hurdles along the way. And even if it is a little bit higher price, I always give them my perspective and just saying, yes, but it is a gamble. And do I see the appraisal coming in at this? No.
Right.
So we kind of go over all those different facets. And it's not necessarily the highest offer. Sometimes I have clients that select a house because there was a family letter that was involved.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's your choice to decide who you want to go with.
Yeah.
Do I think family letters help? Yeah, absolutely.
You do?
Yep.
Big advocate?
It doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the downside?
And I get creative if the client doesn't want to write one. I always put one in, and it is what it is. I use the picture and the frame that comes with the frame at Target or wherever you buy it.
Yeah.
Not really, but when I am submitting multiple,
You had me.
when I am submitting multiple offer situations for my clients, for my buyers, I try and be the first one in, just because it shows the best foot forward.
Yeah.
Then if it does get into a multiple offer situation, we can always tweak it and come in and adjust a little bit, but it shows we saw the house, we wrote, we didn't hesitate. Here's our pre-approval. Here's our family letter, and I always throw some kind of added bonuses into them too. I say, I'll donate $1,000 of my commission towards the sellers, towards their moving day, towards their movers. And on moving day, I'll give you $50 towards food and beer. And little stuff like that. It's $1,000 off my commission. Doesn't matter what the price of the house is, but you know what? It gets those sellers to kind of look at it and say, "Oh, this is interesting.
Creative.
Yeah, I didn't see this. Creative.
Yeah.
Okay." And we're always at the top of the list or their thought process. So it really helps us kind of come in with that winning edge.
I love it. Okay, let's transition a little bit. I want to get your thoughts on the NAR settlement. And, it's one of those things where everybody kind of likes to talk about it. It comes up all the time. A lot of agents think it's not going to be a big deal and it's going to be business as usual. I'm not exactly sure like what things look like in September of this year, but what's your best take in terms of like what could or might be a little bit different based on this ruling where, potentially the buyer is going to pay the buyer's agent in maybe more cases than they had before? Do you think that's going to happen?
We'll see. And again, it's adaptability. I think it's going to weed out a lot of newer agents. I think that a lot of older agents are just going to kind of maybe walk away from the field. But I think that the ones that are able to adapt and understand are going to be the ones that really survive. And we'll see how it plays out. My understanding is that the commission just can't be advertised on MLS.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And I think that the seller's take on that is, okay, we don't have to pay a buyer's agent commission anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see a lot of agents out there working for free. I think that it's definitely going to kind of take some trial and error for a lot of sellers, a lot of buyers to come out there and say, hey, this works, this doesn't work. I do see commissions being more flexible now, and I see them going down a little bit until things kind of get sorted. But It could go the other way as well. When I submit an offer, I make sure to have additional paperwork saying, hey, here's my client's offer, and here's the compensation that I'm looking for based on that.
Interesting. Yeah, it will be interesting to see how it plays out. I think the one thing that is just very interesting to me is, are sellers now going to think that they don't need to pay the full 6%? Are they going to try and pay 2 or 3? And if so, is that going to get them less traffic to their house? And so it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
And it is. And I just recently went through a sale in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Very hot market, very competitive. They were working with another agent for a while. They weren't able to obtain a house. They lost out in multiple offer situations. They switched over to me. We looked around for a while, but we found a home, and it was new listing, perfect house, beautiful house. It's on Forest Street, which is east of Woodward, right by Forest Grill.
Mm-hmm.
Great area, from 1900, very nice historic house. But it was priced absolutely perfectly. The house was absolutely flawless. It would have gone in a heartbeat into a multiple offer situation. But the seller, who was in the lending business, not at Hall, but somewhere, kind of tested out the decreased commission.
Okay.
And their commission that they were offering for a buyer's agent was 1%.
Mm.
So lo and behold, the house got very little traffic. And that was advertised, obviously.
Yeah.
And they had open houses, and they received no offers.
Wow.
And I said to my clients, I said, let's be a little strategic. Let's wait. If they have an offer, then we can come in and get aggressive, but let's see what happens. And we came in a little bit lower, and I negotiated part of the deal that I would receive 3% commission standard.
Yeah.
They negotiated down to 2.5%. That's fine.
Okay.
It's not 1%. But I think that in them trying to lower the commission as much as they did, I think that they really lost a lot of money in the end of better representation and a higher price and more bidding wars.
It makes sense. When I think about, your personal brand, I think of you as a solution. And the reason I think that is because if somebody said, well, it's a far way away, well, Brandon will go do that. Or it's a big project, Brandon will coach them through it. He'll take it on. So you've kind of, gained this reputation through hard work of people know that you're a go-to guy with almost any situation. The methodology that you'll drive up north, you'll drive west, you'll go wherever, it's following you around now, and people know you in that way. Do you get that a lot of times from referrals?
Sure, absolutely. And I only work with referrals. I don't advertise. I don't market. You're not going to see my face in your mailbox. You may see me driving around in some weird city that I've never heard of before, but you know what? I know more about Michigan than I ever thought I ever would.
Yeah.
But it's my reputation, and I always kind of chuckle to myself when people ask, well, do you work in this city? And it's like, yeah, absolutely. Is it in Michigan? I'm licensed. Let's go.
I like that. It's a great philosophy, and it's really taken you far. Thanks for coming in and being on the show today. Congratulations on all the success, and we'll continue to see your business growing. And I just think you do a lot of things the right way, and I just wanted to thank you because you've been great for Hall Financial, and we want to continue to be great for you as well.
And you are. Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate
David.
it. We'll see you next time.